Hello, welcome to my beautiful garden called Kadamb Bagh. The reason it's called Kadamb Bagh is because it grows under a mighty Kadamb tree. This Kadamb tree is probably the tallest tree we have at Ananda, and it was planted by us about 10 years ago. Now, we started planting a lot of native trees when we first got this land with the aim to regenerate it, build the porosity of the soil, fix nitrogen in it, open up the soil really, and make it come alive again. Now, once that's happened, we actually started getting into it and planting other smaller trees and productive crops and really taking things out of it. We allowed like 5-6 years for it to just sort of rebuild itself. And now it was ready for us to actually take things out of it in terms of cultivatable crops. So that's what we're doing here at Kadamb Bagh. And the way I've designed it is in such a way that you can see here on the northern edge, there's a row of papaya circles. The reason we have these papaya circles is because just behind it is a little diversion drain through which water runs in the monsoon. So all that excess water actually gets trapped into these papaya circles, and the papayas really benefit from that water. At the same time, all the de-weeding and cleaning up that we do in this garden gets dumped in those papaya circles, and so the papayas also get a lot of fertilizer by all this decomposing biomass. And because they are all facing south, they get enough sunlight through the day to do well. Then the rest of the garden has been designed as raised beds, and you will see some of the raised beds are currently coming in this direction, which is perpendicular to the slope, and the ones here have been built perpendicular to these beds because the slope here runs like this. So I've built both the beds perpendicular to the water flow, and that allows water to actually slow down and at the same time for the beds to drain out, because both the things are important. Hello there, I'm back with my brand new course on water for every landscape. In this course, you will understand what the hydrological cycle is, what your watershed is, and then learn a bunch of earthwork strategies to manage the water on your land. You will also learn how to treat the grey water so that you can treat that as a supplementary source of water. So all the description for this course is given in the description section. What are you waiting for? Click on the relevant links and sign up for the course. I will see you inside the course very soon. Now, this is the second round of crops that we are taking from this garden, and now we've planted turmeric and ginger in these gardens. But not only that, you will see that we've planted a whole lot of new trees in this spring, ranging from pomegranate to oranges, lemons, peaches, pears, avocado, and custard apple. So a whole lot of small trees have been planted here, about 30-35 of them, because they are not going to reach such a high height and they will continue to get sun even under the kadamb. Right? So this is how we stack things. Once the native trees have really gained height, then you can plant other trees under it. And by this we'll make a multi-layer food forest where we'll be getting many things out of the same space. What you see here on the right is ginger, and it's I'm actually really excited about it. It's very well mulched, and you can see that the soil underneath is very wet. It's decomposing here quite naturally. We had a little bit of carpentry work happening on site, so there is a lot of carpentry shavings which have been mixed with wood chips and used here as mulch. And you will see a lot of other small plants which are growing in these beds and doing really well because of the constant care they are getting thanks to the accompanying crops. You can see the kadamb right here in the middle growing really tall. It probably hits about 40 feet or so, and therefore the shadow of the kadamb really doesn't bother us anymore. In fact, honestly, I don't even know where the shadow is falling. So you see, once the native trees become tall, you can actually come under them and start growing fruits and other trees of importance. You'll see a little pond here towards my left This is another original pool or pond built many years ago to trap some of the excess water. And whenever we have a deluge, this is the place where a lot of water comes from the road and sort of gathers naturally. And when it fills up, it continues to water the rest of this garden for several days or maybe even weeks after the rainfall has ended. So by building these small ponds in places, we've actually ensured a permanent system of irrigation here, or shall I say, not permanent perhaps, but at least a prolonged system of irrigation, which otherwise we would have just lost this water to run off, and then we would be using our borewell water to water these crops. So just some sensible water management and earthworks can actually help you to keep water in your gardens for much longer than what it would stay if you didn't do any of that. So to my left here, you can see some beautiful turmeric. It's doing fantastically well. I'm terribly happy and pleased with how it's going, and of course also very grateful. And all in all, I think this garden is just, it's just so strong and so resilient because of the diversity here that you see. Not only is there ginger and turmeric which is growing on the ground, but there are a bunch of trees, tall native trees, papayas, bananas, mulberry, peaches, pears, like you name it. And once all these trees start giving fruit, I think we could just live off this space. Don't you think so? So that's it from me today. Well, it's a hot, humid day. I'd better get back and drink some water. But thanks for accompanying me on this journey, and I'll see you soon again. Bye-bye.